Is this hot and fast direct heat method way better than cooking ribs the traditional way, low and slow? I'm testing out Blues Hogs burn and turn method in this video and comparing it to a rack of ribs I smoked low and slow, and we're gonna find out which method is better, so let's get smoking. Welcome to the Smoke Lab, guys, the show where I do crazy barbecue experiments you would never do at home so you can learn from my trial and error. I was watching a video over on the Blues Hog YouTube channel where Tim Scheer shared his burn and turn method. If you guys haven't heard of Tim or Blues Hog, this guy's a legend in competition barbecue and he sells some of the best sauces on the planet through the Blues Hog brand. So when this video dropped, I paid attention to it. In the video, Tim explains his burn and turn drum smoker method where he cooks hot and fast directly over the coals and flips the ribs every 15 minutes. Now, I never thought about doing that because I always assumed that direct heat grilling ribs would burn the bejesus out of them and just dry them out and make them inedible, but apparently it's supposed to make them super juicy with a crispy exterior, and with all the fat dripping down on the coals, that creates a grilled meat flavor that really elevates the taste of the ribs. So in this video, I'm putting the burn and turn method up against my traditional method, how I always cook ribs, of just smoking them for 3 or 4 hours, low and slow at around 250, and then wrapping them until they get probe tender, maybe for another hour or two, and then taking them out, saucing them, setting the sauce on the grill, and serving them up. That's the way that I like to do ribs, but who knows, maybe I'll change my mind after this experiment. So starting with 2 racks of spare ribs, I'm removing the silver skin, trimming them up a little bit, and then I'm applying a layer of Blues Hog all-purpose rub for some color, and then a final layer of my Smoke Trails barbecue brisket rub for some texture and umami flavor. Then I'm lighting up the Oklahoma Joe's Bronco drum smoker with natural lump charcoal. You can see I'm just lighting one side of it, and once that's lit, I'm placing the grate back on. No deflector plate or anything blocking the heat from the direct coals because we're doing hot and fast direct grilling with this method. Now, I'm also leaving the vents wide open. I'll be aiming for around 325 degrees as shown on the built-in thermometer on the Bronco, so pretty high. Next, I'm placing a rack of ribs meat side down on one side of the grate and letting it cook for 15 minutes. I just set my alarm on my phone for 15 minutes, and every time it rings, I just snooze it for another 15 minutes, and I continue to do that, and it reminds me to flip them every 15 minutes. Now, after 15 minutes, you can already see how the top of the ribs are sizzling. That's the burn part, and after flipping them meat side up, I'm turning the grate about 180 degrees. That's the turn part of burn and turn. Now, I'm going to keep flipping the ribs and rotating the grate every 15 minutes for a total of 2 hours. So that's 7 flips and turns cooking at 325 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I'm wrapping the ribs in foil with a few spritzes of apple cider vinegar just for a little bit of extra moisture, and it goes back on the drum smoker meat side down for another 30 minutes or so, really until the ribs are tender. You can open them up and test them, probe into them. They should be around high 190s, low 200 degree Fahrenheit. They should bend easily. The bark should tear a little bit. And now this is an extra step that wasn't in Tim's video, but I like to sauce up my ribs and set up the sauce for a couple minutes, maybe 15 minutes. And in this video, I'm using Blues Hog Champion Blend sauce to add a little bit of sticky sweetness to the ribs. All right, guys, I have the control ribs here. These are ribs that I smoked in my Bronco without doing the burn and turn method. They're actually looking pretty good as well. So I'm gonna cut into them and take a nice double rib. Give you guys a look. Ooh, that's looking really nice. Almost forgot. I should give you guys a look at how juicy it is. Nice and juicy. So this rib, I cooked it horizontal on the Bronco and then wrapped it about 165, 170 degrees. And then I went to probe tenderness, sauced it, just kind of like the burn and turn, except it was at a lower temperature of about 250 degrees. So let's give this a taste. Really tasty, really flavorful, really juicy. I'm interested to see how the burn and turn ribs compare to this because this is really good. Okay, here are the burn and turn ribs. So just at first glance, it looks like they're a lot more crispy than the other ones. Let's take a big old double rib off of this. And I'll give you guys a look. It looks pretty juicy. Looks similar to the last one, actually. Let's give it a taste. Oh man, that is a lot different. It's got a really grilled taste on it. The fat on top of the rib is a lot better rendered. Man, that is really good. I think there's something to this burn and turn method, guys. The exterior of the rib is extremely crispy. It's got that grilled meat steak type of Maillard reaction flavor that just kicks up the flavor to a whole nother level. the fat on top of the rib is much better rendered than the control ribs that I cook just the normal way that I cook ribs. So I might be using this burn and turn method more often in the future. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, subscribe to the Oklahoma Joe's YouTube channel. Check out more barbecue experiments on my channel, Smoke Charles Barbecue. I will see you in the next video, and until then, happy smoking.